A few years ago, a study made waves claiming that AI could identify gay people from pictures of their faces. The paper's conclusions were flawed in a variety of ways. It claimed that the results were evidence of a relationship between sexual orientation and facial structure, but others have suggested that this AI was more likely responding to things like poses, camera angles, grooming, makeup, facial expressions, and those explanations seem particularly likely given that the images were taken from dating websites. Like, yeah, queer people and straight people do present themselves differently to potential partners. But anyway, inspired by this troubling reemergence of physiognomy, I decided to use AI to generate some images of gay faces. Look at these gay faces. Here are some gay faces. Gay men, wow. Check out these gay men. They're just like me. Here's a lesbian. Here's a bisexual. Happy Pride Month, everybody. So I posted a video about AI art on my main channel a few days ago, and there's some stuff that I cut from the script for the sake of thematic cohesion. So I thought I'd just talk about some of that here. In the first draft of the script, I talked more about bias, the ways that racism, misogyny, and so on are reproduced by AI models. For example, Lensa, the AI art app that you can feed pictures of yourself in order to generate artistic renderings, often sexualizes women, turning their headshots into scantily clad renditions with more prominent breasts. While working on the video, I generated some Lensa images of myself with the female option selected, and while it didn't produce anything particularly scandalous, it did morph my face into a narrow image of a feminine face that in some cases was just completely unrecognizable. This is supposedly me. It doesn't look like me, and also this little fairy is demonic. People of color have also talked about how Lensa lightened their skin and shifted their appearance to align with Eurocentric beauty standards. I'll put a link in the description to a video that goes more in depth about that. So there's often talk about de-biasing these models, and for a lot of practical purposes that makes sense. Like if your goal is to produce a profile picture or a goofy TikTok filter, you don't want it producing bigoted caricatures. But I want to suggest a different way of thinking about this. Wendy Chun, in her book Discriminating Data, writes about various discriminatory machine learning algorithms. Like AI hiring software has been trained on past hiring decisions, and so now tends to favor men based on that historical pattern of bias. She writes, "What would happen if we treated these and other models as we do global climate change models? Climate models predict the most probable future for the world given past and current actions, not so that we fatalistically accept the future they predict, but rather so that we will do whatever is needed to prevent that future from occurring. We seek to fix the world, not the model that predicts them." I think this might be an interesting way to engage with AI art as well. Like I say in my original video, I think any artistic value in AI art comes precisely from its social context and the way that it shows patterns and provides an uncanny reflection of the material it was trained on. So I think there's potential for AI-based art that interrogates its model's data sets, that exposes and denaturalizes the harmful patterns contained in the data these models were trained on. And to be clear, something like Lensa is clearly not engaging in that kind of project. Lensa doesn't want its output to be viewed critically. It's not doing any kind of conceptual work. It doesn't want you to think about the material that it was trained on, because if you do, then you might feel uncomfortable with the fact that Lensa is profiting from the uncompensated work of artists. I don't know what this looks like exactly. All I've got for you are these gay faces. Gay faces. Wow. Gay faces. Some of the pictures it generated I probably can't show on YouTube because of nudity, but honestly, they're so weird and distressing that I don't even know if they resemble human anatomy enough to violate YouTube's community guidelines.